Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with Eloquence, Australian Eloquence's Horst Stein box. Oh, this is really good stuff. Interesting and unusual repertoire. 15 fun-filled CDs, original jackets. Let's look at them because some of the jackets were kind of cool. This is a very nicely put together package, as usual, with Australian Eloquence, with original couplings and things. Some of this stuff is quite well known, some of it less so, and it deserves to be better because there are no bad performances in this box at all. It's all really good. We begin with, of course, the Friedrich Gulda Beethoven piano concertos with the Vienna Philharmonic. These have been discussed ad infinitum at Classics Today by the Jedster himself. Sometimes I think I've done it too. And it's a good Beethoven piano concerto cycle. It really is. The first movement of the fourth piano concerto is a little stodgy, but after that, it's Gulda, and it's fun, and the performances are really nice, and I enjoy it. I really do. I like it because I think it has character. It has personality. And so that's a good thing. So there's that. Then we've got a couple Bruckner performances, which are fabulous. I mean, Stein was a fantastic Bruckner conductor. We have Second Symphony in the Haas edition, as if anybody cares, with the Vienna Phil. I mean, it's one of the reference recordings for the work. It really is. And so is this version of the Sixth with the Vienna Phil. Now, these performances pop up in the Vienna Phil Bruckner box, naturally, because there really aren't that many Vienna Phil recordings of numbers 2 and 6 outside of like Telemann's horrible complete cycle. And boy, do they play well. I mean, Stein just has this effortless, natural, sensible, totally letting the orchestra do its thing, but injecting his own ideas where they add something, and they always do. They're just wonderful performances. So that's really, really great. Then, here's a real novelty. This is a Decca digital. My goodness. I mean, does anyone remember when this came out? The Cherubini D minor requiem. Amazing. With, for male chorus and orchestra. It's a good work. Cherubini wrote it for his own funeral, supposedly. And it's aptly solemn, but also grand, very serious. The work of a true craftsman. And this is a beautiful performance of it. It's not as, perhaps, dynamic as Riccardo Muti's, which I have sitting right over here somewhere. There's a big box of Cherubini stuff with, Moody's name all over it. But it's a good performance. It's unusual work. It's only been recorded a few times. Markevich did it, Muti did it, Stein did it, and the people who do it know what they're doing. Because, you're not going to perform the piece unless you really have something to say and you're serious about it. Here's another novelty. Hungarian violinist Josef Sivo, if you want to put the accent over there. It's interesting. I think they get the spelling of his name wrong on the box here. Because in the back of the box, it looks like, no, they got it. It's just hard to read if you don't have glasses. It looks like they make the I an L because the little dot on top of the I runs into the body of the I. Never mind. Prokofiev's first and the Glazunov. Very, very short playing times on this disc. It's 38 minutes long. But how many Josef Sivo violin CDs are there? Not many. He was a concertmaster of the Vienna Philharmonic during the 60s, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Very, very talented player. It's nice to hear him. These aren't going to win any huge awards. The Glazunov concerto is pretty well known because that was on that coupling that had the Glier concerto for coloratura soprano, I believe, with Joan Sutherland. Wasn't that on there? Something like that. There was like all kinds of stuff. Anyway, I love the Glazunov. The Prokofiev is a classic, of course, but the Glazunov is such a wonderful, wonderful work. The only reason it doesn't get played much is because it's only 18 minutes long, 18 minutes and 43 seconds. I mean, it doesn't stop the Ravel left-hand concerto, of course, but it's a short work. Good, solid performances, enjoyable to a fault. You'll enjoy them all. Then comes a big pile of Sibelius. And Stein was a terrific Sibelius conductor. And a lot of this stuff, when it came out, was sort of hard to find or unusual. The repertoire was curious in the 70s and whatnot when these were recorded. I think it was about then, wasn't it? Well, one of them is 84. This was that late? Wow. Is it 84 or 64? It's 84. But, oh, they're beautiful performances with the Orchestre de la Suisse Romande, of all people, post-Ansermet. They were getting better. I mean, they play pretty well. First, we have the Second Symphony. Or second, we have the First Symphony. No. First, we have the Second Symphony. It's a really warm, beautiful performance until we get to the finale, where you just want to have more rhythm. You know, you want those trombones to be ta-ta-ta-tam, ta-ta-ta-tam, pa-ta-ta-tam underneath the tune. And here they're sort of like, it just needs more definition. It really does. But the tempos are right. Phrasing is right. The whole concept is right. Finale's just this much of a letdown, but it's a beautiful performance otherwise. First movement's terrific, really beautiful. Then we've got the Four Legends from the Kalevala. Oh, yes. Very, very nicely performed. I mean, you know, Lemminkainen and the Maidens of Sorry has plenty of sex appeal, and he gets through Lemminkainen and Tuonela without boring us to tears, and the homecoming is exciting. It's just well done. Shapely, musical, attractive, and, you know, not non-finished Sibelius. It never got much attention because it's not finished. You know, please. Sibelius spent his whole life trying to have a career in Germany, so he wasn't worried about it being non-finish. Then we've got this lovely recording of Pelléas and Mélisande and the Tempest Overture and Suites 1 and 2. And suite number 1, yeah, look at it. The Tempest, suite number 1, opus 109, number 2. Pardon me. Yes, it's just the suite number 1. Thank you. I got it. Right. Again, first-class performances. You don't get the Tempest Overture very often. It's a wonderfully atonal chromatic storm thing. It's fun to listen to. It really, really is. And lastly, in the Sibelius category, Finlandia, Night Ride and Sunrise, which you almost never see. It's a beautiful tone poem. Its opening part, the Night Ride, goes on a bit. You know, it's night riding a bit much. But again, Stein knows how to keep it moving. He knows how to balance the two sections, the Night Ride and the Sunrise. You get a great Pohjola's Daughter. Really, really terrific Pohjola's Daughter. It's wonderful. And I like this recording too, the sonics, where you've got the trumpets and the woodwinds and the horns. I mean, they're all well separated, so you can hear what they're doing in the texture for the most part without, anybody having to be like spot mic'd strangely. It's really terrific. And very, very good on Saga too. Swift tempos, generally 16 minutes and a bit for on Saga. Really, really exciting. It could be more bass drum, but then again, usually, unless it's the Esa-Pekka Salonen or Nimi Järvi recordings, you could always have more bass drum in on Saga. But again, very, very well played and conducted, atmospheric, and beautiful. So that's great. So is the Wagner thing here. Oh, yes, the Wagner thing. The Flying Dutchman Overture, Lohengrin Preludes to Acts 1 and 3, the Meistersinger Prelude, and the Tristan and Isolde Prelude and Liebestod with the Wiener Philharmoniker. Stein was, Wagnerian to the manner born. These are effortless, attractive. They remind me a lot of André Cluytaz and some of these other just really, really sensible Wagner conductors who didn't make a philosophical hash brown out of the music, a meal of it. They just play it with great lyricism and intensity, and it's wonderful. It's wonderful, just wonderful. It's a disc again that didn't get a lot of attention because it's not like famous conductor, but some of these guys were really good, really, really good. And last but not least, the Vienna Phil with Horst Stein and Weber. Lovely disc of Weber stuff. It was on Decca. You've got the Euryanthe Overture, the Invitation to the Dance, the Ruler of the Spirits, Abu Hassan, and the First Symphony. Charm and beautiful tunes and effortless musicality, and it characterizes everything that this guy did. Oh, we have a couple more, pardon me. And there's this one, Oh, this is great. Hugo Wolf. Yes, we have the symphonic poem, Penthesilea. Penthesilea is, she's an Amazon and she does naughty things. Oh boy. It's 24 fun-filled minutes. You don't find this around very much, so it's great to have it. And the suite from his opera Der Corregidor, which is the three-cornered hat, believe it or not. If you know the Falla Ballet, only it's German and not very Spanish, but that's okay. The music's fun. There's not much Wolf orchestral music, so this is definitely worth having. Absolutely. And then some opera arias. Opera arias with Kim Borg. Oh my God, Kim Borg, fabulous, fabulous bass. Russian opera arias. It's not just those actually, because he's not singing Depuis le jour from Charpentier. Yeah, Charpentier's Louise. Believe me, that's Hilda Gudin. So she's singing it along with Korngold. Oh, from Die Tote Stadt. Glück das mir verliebt. Oh, it's just wonderful. He's accompanying these various singers. Then we've got Fritz Wunderlich and Hermann Prey from Bizet, from the Pearl Fishers, off Deutsch, naturally. Then the Mussorgsky stuff. Here's all the Russian stuff with Kim Borg, which is wonderful. Lots of stuff from Boris Godunov and Tchaikovsky and Glinka and Borodin and what's not to love. And finally, Puccini. Oh, yes. The Te Deum from Tosca, which apparently in German is Drei Hescher mit einem Wagen. Okay, whatever. It's great to hear a disc devoted to Kim Borg, who was a spectacular singer. And that was on Deutsche Grammophon originally, but now it's here on Decca Eloquence. And that is the Horst Stein Decca edition. Odd selection of repertoire. Not what you'd usually expect, but wonderful. I mean, just really a fine collection. Unfortunately, there isn't more. I mean, we could say that, but, it's always better to only have some, but have it be great, than to have lots and have to sift through the stuff and get rid of the junk. Terrific, terrific set. And if you're a serious collector, you're going to want these performances. You really are. So keep on listening, friends. Thanks for joining me. Take care.